For Kerry, I think approaching the Munster final, I think they would have expected a tougher game off Clare. I think Clare have been coming on strides for the last number of years, but I was a bit disappointed in their performance in Killarney. So I don't think Kerry would have learned a whole pile from that game in terms of where they're at. But I suppose the one thing it did show up is that even though Clare didn't play particularly well, and they would admit that themselves, they still got a good big score against Kerry. So I think from Kerry's point of view, they really need to work on their defensive structure. Not any player in particular, but their overall defensive structure, I think, would have to improve, and especially with an eye to going forward in the championship, if they are to go the distance, I think they'll definitely have to get their defensive system in better shape. Tipperary, there's been unbelievable work being done over the last number of years. Underage, they've been very successful at minor level, and on 21 level they've had some great results, and there was really big momentum building with Tipperary football, but again from the outside it seemed that momentum had stalled a bit this year. It was a fantastic sign of them to beat Cork. They had the opportunity to beat Cork 2 years ago, and they were a couple of points up going into injury time, and they managed to lose that game. So it showed that they're learning from their experiences, and they have some real good quality players who very athletic, real strong runners in the middle of the field as well. I expect they will come down and perform. Liam Kearns is a real good manager. He's an experienced manager. He'll know the Kerry fellas very well, so they will come down and perform. They'll come down with a game plan. I think they'll probably try to play a defensive game against Kerry, try to stick with Kerry for as long as possible, and then hope that the last 10 or 15 minutes then they can push on and get the win. But if you're asking me to call it, I think Kerry are probably further down the road in development, and their experience on big days in Killarney I think will stand to them, and I think they'll have enough to beat Tipperary in the final.